Steph Curry makes history tonight, and definitely got to give him props. Warriors beat the Knicks 105-96. Steph Curry is the all-time three-point champion. He's surpassed Ray Allen, 2,974 three-pointers made. Huge achievement. Definitely not a big shock to anybody. You know, it was just one of those things of, like, when was it going to happen? Not if. When. And it's just a testament of his dedication, his hard work. You know, Steph Curry changed the game. They look at three-pointers like they used to look at dunks and, you know, certain savvy plays and crossovers and stuff. But Steph Curry made the game finesse, really finesse. He took the physicality out of the game, not all the way, but gave it another wrinkle that you can be effective and you can dominate a basketball game by doing it this way. You can win championships by doing it this way. So he broke the mold. So kudos to Steph, man. Kudos to Steph for the work that he's put in. You know, coming from Davidson, people didn't even think much of him. Obviously, he was a top 10 pick, but they never thought he was going to be this. You know, they never even labeled him as a point guard coming out. I mean, I don't really see him as a point guard. He's more of a hybrid. But, you know, if you looked at the scouting reports, he's not that fast, not that deceptive, doesn't have any athletic ability, but can shoot the lights out. What does it sound like to you? Tom Brady, right? Tom Brady's scouting combine metrics were nothing to be impressed about. He didn't have an NFL physique, couldn't run, didn't have a plus arm like they said, was possibly not going to be in the NFL. 20 plus years later, he's the greatest quarterback of all time. Steph Curry, same thing. Not that fast. Doesn't really have an NBA body. Skinny. We don't know what he's going to be. Slow. Not really deceptively quick. He's now the greatest shooter in NBA history. He's been the greatest shooter in NBA history. So it just goes to show you that it doesn't matter what scouts say and what they look at and all the particular numbers. You know, maybe 60% of the time that works. It's an accurate way of evaluating talent. But you got guys like Steph Curry. You got guys like Tom Brady. You got guys like Dak Prescott. You got these guys that they miss, that they can't really quantify into numbers because it's all will and skill. It's all about where they go as well. Who's to say that when the Knicks had that pick and he was available and Steph Curry ended up being a Knick, if we would be sitting here talking about Steph Curry being the greatest shooter of all time, possibly in the conversation as one of the top 10, top 15 greatest players of all time, and somebody who revolutionized the game of basketball. Would we really be having that conversation? Or was it destiny for him to go to Golden State, where he can be able to not have the press in his face, not have the limelight of the Los Angeles Lakers or the pressure of New York? He can be able to just develop his game, deal with the injuries that he had early on because his ankles were shot to the point where they needed to buy him or create special braces for him. All of those things he was able to do because he went to Golden State. And he was able to find himself. He was able to get a coach like Mark Jackson who believed in him and told him that he can be the greatest player in the game. And that's exactly what happened. And then Steve Kerr came and took it to another level. The rest is history. Same thing we can say about Brady. It's that he went to the right place. Who's to say if Brady was a Jet or went to the Bills or even went to the Cowboys that we would be talking about Tom Brady like we're talking about him today. So shouts to Ryan Flowers. You know, this is his line that where you go matters. It matters. So kudos to Steph, everybody involved. You know, it was real classy to see Ray Allen and Reggie Miller there. Madison Square Garden, obviously. You can't ask for a better venue to have a big moment like this happen. So everything kind of worked out. I think Steph was he was kind of BSing around a little bit the last few games. Can't make shots. He wanted to do it in MSG. And who can blame him? Hell, if I was Steve Kerr, I'd have sat him out last game and just let him deal with this today. That's what I would have did. So, either way, it's a great achievement. Steph Curry is definitely in the same category, in my opinion, to a guy like Dan Marino. Dan Marino revolutionized the way the game is played behind center in regards to throwing the football. What he did in that era throwing the football was just revolutionary to the point where people can say, we can win like that. If we have the right system and the right formula, that can work. We don't necessarily need a strong running game. We need a decent running game that can be effective and move the chains, but we don't need a bruiser. That's where the game went. Steph Curry came in and showed people, you know what, that's not a bad way to play basketball. Guys can be able to extend their careers, have a more efficient shot to be more effective in a basketball game. And we can probably win like that. We need to tweak a few things. Can't just have a whole bunch of small guys out there shooting. But there's definitely a formula that can possibly win you a championship.